Alright, well, we're in the woods. Normally, I wouldn't do this, especially in the afternoon. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. But it's October 20th. I've already killed a buck. Things have been slow. The wind's not perfect. So I don't have much for hopes for this hunt. I'm mainly using it as an observation type sit to see if I can lay eyes on another buck I'd want to kill. But I want to show you my setup. That's this guy. That's my baby. That's my Lone Wolf Assault, 4 Lone Wolf sticks, everything. We're gonna get up in this tree. We've got our cattle fence right here. This is the same tree that you saw me hunt when I passed that pretty good 6-pointer. It's a good tree for observing. But I'm gonna show you how I pack this stuff in my full setup. For those of you that think you might want to do the run and gun thing, it's really not as bad as it seems. There's a few key pieces that you don't need to skimp on, but other than that, you can do it with quite a bit of different gear. So let's take a look. First things first, I don't care if you're using the run and gun hang-on setup or if you're using a climber. These MOLLE 2 shoulder straps and waist belt, that's a must. It really makes your perceived weight on your back a lot less. It puts some of the weight on your hips as well as shoulders. I mean, this whole setup, as you see, because of the filming gear and stuff, is 50 pounds. I weighed it the other night, it's 51, so that's a key. That's a must. You've got to use that. Put one of those on your stands. You'll be very, very happy that you did. So when I get to the tree, I'll drop my stand just like this. And then I'll lay it over like so. Bear with me, I'm holding the camera and doing this. You'll see my lineman's belt right here. I'll unclip it. And it's right here. The whole thing's held on, my pack is held on with just a cinch strap here. So I'll take that off. And I'll just leave it at the base of the tree. And we'll set our backpack off to the side. From here, the only thing holding my sticks on is a Lone Wolf quick strap. So we'll undo it. Get rid of it, put it over there. So now we've got the stand separated from the sticks. Okay, the things you must have to do this is you gotta have a lineman's rope. That's a must. I highly recommend the MOLLE 2 waist shoulder straps and waist belt. That's a must in my opinion. And then you need 2 ropes, one for your stand, one for your bow. I'm going to show you how to do this in one trip, only one. I do it in one trip unless it's really, really cold and I've got a lot of weight on my back with clothes and stuff. I'll do it in 2. Okay, we got the stand separated from the sticks. We're looking at our tree here, and I want to go off the right side of that tree. So I'm going to take my stand and set it against the tree. I set it to where I'm pulling it straight up. That way when I'm pulling it up, it's going to be missing my climbing sticks. That way we're not making a lot of noise. The emphasis on this is quiet. I can do this way quieter than I could ever use a climbing stand, and that may be hard to believe, but once you get into doing this, you can do it. So the second thing is you want to have your bow. You want to take your stand and have it there. Have your bow away from it. We're going to pull the stand up, and we're going to have a rope from me to the stand. I attach the rope like right here. I'll have one rope from me to the stand, and then one rope from the stand to my bow. Emphasis on that is to make sure it's not tangled. Make sure you lay it in a place that it's not going to get tangled. I've never had an issue. I've never had to climb back down and untangle a rope. But I take a lot of time to make sure it's right before I climb up. There's nothing more frustrating than to get up to the top of the tree and go to pull something up and your rope's tangled around something. That's the worst. So I stay very conscious of that as I climb. Okay, our next key, we've got our ropes hooked up. Now we're going to put our backpack on our back. And what allows my method to using the sticks is I've got the Lone Wolf stick caddy on there. And it's essentially just a strap. It's like a 1-inch webbing. And what I do is I put my backpack on my back, which we'll do right now. And then I basically cross shoulder those sticks. And they'll be on my back as I'm climbing. And then when I need one, I lean off from the tree with my lineman's belt and I'll pull those sticks around to in front of me, pull one off, set it across my lineman's belt, then put it back on my back and then hang the stick. Hopefully we can catch that with the GoPro. It'd be easier if I had somebody filming with me, but we don't. We're doing the best we can. I made some tweaks this year to my setup to be public land friendly, so it didn't matter if I was hunting public land, private land, whatever. And the biggest thing was a bow holder. Most public lands you can't screw anything into a tree. So two of my biggest additions this year is I added this third hand bow holder. See? I'm a big fan of that. It keeps things real nice. Like, it keeps it real close to you. You can get it very fast. The other thing is I added this third hand accessory strap. I like it. If I was doing it again, I would look at maybe the HME or something with bigger hooks. These have real small hooks, and it works for everything that I want it to, but I mean, if small hooks are good, a little bit bigger hooks would be fine too. I run my GoPro tucked into that strap, so once again, don't have to screw anything into a tree. Got my lineman's rope. A lot of I've got a clamp, like a Gorilla Pod clamp GoPro mount, so I can kind of clamp it to different things. A lot of times you end up in trees with limbs and stuff, and in those trees I'll have a second GoPro. I like doing that a lot. This tree, I've got one, and I may do it, but I've got it on my head right now. Then I'm a left-handed shooter, so my camera arm, my base, and my arm goes on my left side, which that's why you see me run the monitor. I don't have that on there right now because I was charging up my batteries. I wasn't going to use it tonight, but it makes it nearly impossible for me to film as a left-handed archer without that monitor because I'm constantly having to look over the camera to see the screen. Other than that, that's the setup. If you've got any questions on how I do anything or my setup, particular gear, let me know.